look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible mayor, and it's been so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law.
I think he's done a terrible job. Crime in London is through the roof. The mayor of London, Mayor Khan, has done a terrible job. And on immigration, he's a disaster.
Diverse room. Donald Trump's worst nightmare.
Breaking today. Can you believe this? Sadiq Khan has confirmed he will seek a fourth term as Mayor of London. Now, this is news that sends a shiver down the spine of anyone who believes in London as the world's greatest city. That's certainly where I used to be, but not anymore. What was so fascinating is that Khan celebrated this announcement with Dawn Butler at her Jamaican-inspired event at the Labour Party conference. The union of these two is particularly fascinating, as Butler had previously been suggesting she would run if Khan didn't. Of course, he used the opportunity to hit back at Donald Trump.
This diverse room. Donald Trump's worst nightmare. Well, it's a pleasure to be having a great night. And remember, diversity is our greatest strength. It makes us stronger, not weaker. It makes us richer, not poorer. And it also makes us more fun. Please raise the roof so they hear from the White House for Dawn Butler.
Can you believe how out of touch that Crescent is? The fact that he is still going around pulling out those awful slogans like diversity is our greatest strength, when it's now impossible to go out on the streets of the city that he has destroyed with your mobile phone out without being mugged. My God. But that confidence, of course, comes from the fact that he knows that the Muslim vote virtually guarantees that he will be re-elected. Hopefully not, by the way, because I'm going to talk about Middleton in just one moment. But Khan is nervous because Donald Trump has quite rightly broken his embargo on refusing to slag off London's mayor to try and curry favour with Keir Starmer. Watch this. Big news! Outspoken is now available as a podcast too. So please do subscribe wherever you get yours, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and make sure you rate and review. I'll take 5 stars, if you may.
What do you think about the fact that you attend an event in England, a state visit, it's spectacular,
right,
and yet the Mayor of London can't be there?
I didn't want him there. I asked that he not be there. I don't want them. I think the Mayor of London, Khan, is among the worst mayors in the world. And we have some bad ones. If you look at Chicago, but I think he's the equivalent of the Mayor of Chicago. I think he's done a terrible job. Crime in London is through the roof. The Mayor of London, Mayor Khan, has done a terrible job. And on immigration, he's a disaster. Now, I asked that he not be there. He wanted to be there, as I understand. I didn't want him. I've not liked him for a long time. I just think, I have a certain pride in London and UK. My mother was born in Scotland, as you know. And when I see Mayor Khan do a bad job, the stabbings and the dirt and the filth, it's not the same. No, I didn't want him there.
And I have to say, I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible mayor, and it's been so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law, but you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained.
And perhaps the biggest hope of change comes in the form of Middleton, who has revealed publicly that he will stand as an independent versus Sadiq Khan and he ain't holding back. But first, as I've entered my 40s, aging has become ever present in my life. My body doesn't back up the way it used to, and I've found that it's far easier to get injured when trying to work out, far harder to recover too. But I believe one of the best aging breakthroughs of the last decade is qualia senolytic. And I'm going to explain why. Senolytics are a science field revolutionizing human aging. A big culprit behind that middle-aged feeling can be so-called zombie cells that linger in your body after their useful function, wasting your energy and resources. Now, those zombie cells can lead to less energy, slower workout recovery, joint discomfort, and basically feeling old. Now, qualia senolytic is a groundbreaking, clinically tested supplement with 9 vegan plant-derived compounds that help your body naturally eliminate these zombie cells, helping you feel years younger in just months. But here's what I absolutely love about this product. You take it just 2 days a month, helping your body naturally eliminate zombie cells to age better at the cellular level. Now, since taking qualia senolytic, I've felt like I've turned back the clock. I have higher energy, less soreness after exercise, and a big boost in productivity too. That all equals feeling so much better. So experience the science of feeling younger by going to qualialife.com/Dan for up to 50% off your purchase. Use the code DAN, that's DAN, for an additional 15%. So that's QUALIA life.com/Dan for an extra 15% off your purchase. Your older self will thank you. And by the way, thanks to Qualia for sponsoring this episode. Now, let's get back to it.
But accountability policies. Who's accountable? Where did this happen? Who's borough? Who's the councillor? Who's the police HQ here? Who's the commissioner? Right, why is this happening on your turf? Except, accountability just doesn't exist in modern day politics, especially the Mayor of London. Look at the Mayor of London. Holds himself to account 0 times. It's not even a case where he gets read out these statistics and he goes, do you know what? Actually, yeah, the crime is up and, I've got to do better. Wow, I didn't know that. But now that I do, I'm going to do something about it. 0 accountability. So I talk about accountability.
He lies.
Yeah. Listen, look at Keir Starmer. He's lied to get into position of power. Everything that he said, he's gone against. But the reason why people can go, oh, you've done this, it's got to hold myself accountable.
And my God, we need that accountability. We really do. Because it is true that Khan continues to lie. And I want to give you an example from the past few days because it is so egregious. I mean, we all know what is causing the massive increase in crime in London. It is as a result of mass immigration policies and the failure of multiculturalism. Yet Sadiq Khan wants you to believe that the recent violent attacks are all down to racism. And this was clearly in regards to Unite the Kingdom. He posted, from the TfL workers being punched and racially abused to women who were chased down the street, I'm deeply concerned about the alarming rise of racist attacks in our capital city. We are also seeing appalling incidents elsewhere in the country, some of which have included abhorrent violence towards children. These incidents illustrate the dangers of allowing racism to be normalised and mainstream. Real lives and personal safety are under threat. I will continue to speak out against racial inequalities and injustices, as well as providing support to organisations working to support our communities and bring people together. London is a successful, liberal and multicultural city, the greatest in the world. It will always be for everyone, and I promise you that will never change. To my superstar panel, Steph the Ultra Nerd and Base the Bougie. Base the Bougie, I mean, seriously, he doesn't give a damn when people regularly walk out onto the streets of London, by the way, white, black, brown, and are attacked or mugged for their possessions. He only seems to care about crime when he can, in some way, try and make a political point out of it.
Honestly, Sadiq Khan, he's such a grifter. Like, it even hurts to watch, for him to be standing on a stage. Like, tell me you want the black vote without telling me you want the black vote. That's literally what he was doing. All he needed was just to wear some dreadlocks and a Rastafarian hat just to try to fit in. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. And then the funny thing about this video right here is that if you look at Jamaican culture and you put it right next to Muslim Pakistani Sharia law culture. They're the complete juxtaposition. If Jamaicans tried to live in Pakistan for just one day, most of them would not be able to tolerate it. So the fact that he's trying so hard to like fit in and make it seem like, yeah, I'm an advocate for Jamaican culture. No, you're not. Okay. And last but not least, for him to sit here and say that he's Donald Trump's worst nightmare, who is he? Who is Sadiq Khan? Donald Trump would literally make him cry. Donald Trump would crush him. I think he's just getting too big for his shoes, and I just think that Sadiq Khan, he's delusional. He's in denial, and like Aunt Middleton said, he hates accountability, and he just needs to go. He just needs to go.
Yeah, I mean, Steph, a fourth term of Sadiq Khan would be absolutely devastating.
Yeah. No, I don't want to be living in a universe, a reality where Sadiq Khan somehow gets a fourth term as being mayor of London. Like, no. Anyone who's listening, please consider at the very least voting somewhere else. Aunt Middleton, I would say, is definitely a great prospect for the mayor of London. The thing is with Sadiq Khan, he's essentially turning around and saying 2 + 2 = 5. Trust me, bro. London is safer than ever. Trust me, bro. Crime is down. Trust me, bro. We're diverse. Trust me, bro. Yeah, you're diverse until you get to the point where you want to exclude nearly 3 million people that descended into London 2 weeks ago, including myself, to turn around and say, enough is enough, things have to change. He's a walking freaking contradiction, and I'm really surprised he's lasted even this long as Mayor of London.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it absolutely fills me with dread, actually, because for most people who are aware of my background, London is my adopted home, and I've been here for well over 2 decades, but trust me, the city has been destroyed under Sadiq Khan, and anyone who says it isn't, now a toxic hellhole, is not out there living in London. And actually, I was very disappointed to hear Boris Johnson say it's still the best city in the world. No, Boris, it's not. You have your 24/7 police protection. You have no idea what it's like on the streets of London. It was the greatest city in the world when you were mayor. It is now a violent hellhole where you cannot be safe. And it's dead if Sadiq Khan secures a fourth term. It's dead. And actually, I think Reform UK should seriously think of not running in the London mayoral race to allow Aunt Middleton a clear run versus Sadiq Khan, but that's something that we will get back to. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.